Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to my new subscribers and welcome back to my old subscribers. I got a few new ones from my review of the Sony ZV-1 camera the other day. So I'm not going to do camera reviews all the time or tech reviews, so I hope that you're here for other things too. But if you're not, that's okay. Today I'm going to do an update about my cafe business. I meant to do this update at the very beginning of June, but I've been quite busy for a number of reasons I'm going to go into. In today's video, I'm going to talk about a couple of things that I've learned about running a cafe and about running a small business, and I'm going to go over the numbers from the last month and talk about what my goal is for the upcoming month. First lesson I have learned from being a business owner. Being a boss is not that hard, but having employees that are good and hardworking and loyal and trustworthy is probably the biggest struggle. I have one staff member that's been here since day one, and she's really good. She can do everything and I can trust her, and because of that I've rewarded her with higher salary, with kind of leadership management over the new employees, but I also expect her to train all the new employees. I have a small cafe. I only have 3 or 4 employees usually at a time, so why do I have new employees? Well, like I said, finding good staff is hard. I'm sure it's a problem worldwide. I've read about it online. I've read people. I remember my old boss at my first job always talking about, oh, I can't find staff like you. Well, most people, from my experience, especially in a low-paid kind of service job, they don't really care that much. You got to find somebody that cares. If you're going to be a restaurant owner, a small business owner, you got to find staff that care, and that's going to be a tough thing to do. In the last month, I've gone through 2 new staff, in and out. One of them seemed pretty good, but he's gone because he was always coming late. He didn't show up a couple days also, and I was here just absolutely crushed with customers, so busy, and this guy just didn't show up. So that kind of sucked, obviously, and it can't have that going on, so he's gone. Another guy I had, well, let's face it, he wasn't very smart. He worked hard, but he wasn't very smart. He couldn't remember anything, and even I have all the recipes written down and pictures and everything for these guys to make it as easy as possible. He just couldn't really handle it. He didn't even know what a Coca-Cola was. In Chinese, I'm not talking about in English, in Chinese, we asked him, go get a Coca-Cola from the fridge for this customer. He's like, I don't know what a Coca-Cola is. He was really slow, and no matter how many times you tell him how to do something, he couldn't learn it, so I had to let him go too. Since then I've hired 3 new people, sorry. Business has gotten better and better. I've hired 3 new people so I can have 2 for morning shift and 2 for night shift, plus me. Again, it's a small business. If you've been following this, you know. So that's that. I got 3 new people, and they're being trained right now. And that's why I haven't been able to make a new video, because I haven't had time to do much with regards to social media or vlogging or updating you. Second problem also kind of relates to staff a little bit, but I think if I open up another restaurant or another cafe in the future, or any kind of business in the future, I will definitely make it bigger. A couple reasons, I guess. But the biggest reason is, if you have a small business and it's just you and 1 or 2 other staff, and if one of those staff members doesn't show up, or they quit, or something unexpected happens, then you're screwed because you don't have anybody that can fill in. You don't have any help. Let's just say if I had a bigger restaurant and I had 10 staff working, if 1 person didn't show up or 2 people didn't show up, I think I could still function. It might also be hard, but if I have me and 1 other staff member working in this cafe and we get a nice lunch rush, 1 person cannot cook food and make coffee and serve customers and take money. 1 person can't do it all. I definitely would say you need to make it a little bit bigger, put a little bit more investment into the business, make it bigger. It's riskier, but at least you can provide good service when staff fail to show up. I'm going to talk about the numbers for the last month right now. Pretty much doubled my month-over-month revenue from April. Of course, April was terrible because of the virus. Remember the last video I was talking about, some days I was making like 100 or 200 kwai in the whole day. My revenue for April was about 16,000 RMB. My revenue for May was 31,760 RMB. That is only through the POS machine in the cafe and also delivery. The delivery is connected to the POS machine. So 31,000 RMB, about 1,600 US dollars for the month. So not great. Remember in January I was doing about 2,000 or more per day before the virus hit. That revenue is just through the POS machine. I also have revenue through WeChat. I still have a WeChat group of like fans or people that like the cafe, and some of them order food and we deliver it to them personally. It's not that much, about 1,000 RMB for the last month. But the good thing about that is there's no middleman. It just comes directly to me. I don't have to pay a delivery fee. I also have been selling coffee beans across China, if you remember that. Last month I sold 19 bags of coffee with the delivery fee, everything included. I'm charging 98 kwai per bag of 450 gram bag, so about 15 bucks. 19 bags, you do the math, it's another almost 2,000 kwai. So overall revenue for the month was really close to 35,000 RMB. My goal for the following month, for June, is to hit 40,000. So my biggest limiting factors that I found are rainy days and capacity, seating capacity. In this town it's really hot, it's tropical, and in the daytime not a lot of people go outside, especially right now. There's no tourists here still. The tourist situation is really pretty horrible. In the daytime I don't get a lot of customers, usually. Sometimes I do. Yesterday my lunch was amazing. So Sundays, the previous Sunday also was really good. But most regular days, now it's Monday, it's early, I haven't even opened yet, it's only 9 a.m. But I probably will only have maybe 1 or 2 customers for lunch or for coffee in the daytime, and then at night I'll probably have a decent dinner rush. Okay, so on rainy days when it's raining all day, those have been my worst days. I've got like, you know, still 300 or 400 kwai all day, and that's usually all delivery because people don't come out when it's really raining. So that's not really a great money maker. That really hurts my average. If you look at my sales, I did 31,700, so that's about a little over 1,000 per day, right, for May. And when you have a couple days that are 300 or 400 kwai, that really hurts the average. Usually on the weekends I'm up over 2,000, 1,800, 2,000, and then most of the weekdays I'm right around 1,000. Still, as you saw in my last video, I started to hit 1,000 towards the end of the month in April. I'm still most days hitting around 1,000 kwai. 1,200, something like that, except for rainy days. What am I doing to increase my sales and increase the cost of each ticket, each customer, and to kind of cut my costs down too? A lot of customers have been asking for steak, so I put steak on the menu. I really don't want to do steak, much more complicated than burgers, plus pizza, plus pasta, and I have a small kitchen. But so many customers have asked for steak. I've started doing steak only for about 10 days now, so right towards the end of May I started putting steak on the menu. I just have one kind of steak. It's a 250 gram cut of American strip loin. It's okay, it's not great, I'm not gonna lie. I always have a hard time finding really good steak in China, except in the big cities when you go to a really nice steakhouse. But I'm buying my steak from an importer, and the steak is okay. I'm not saying what am I trying to say? I'm not saying I make a bad steak, because I think I make a pretty good steak. When I'm in America and I go to the butcher and I buy a nice steak and it's not frozen, and I cook it to medium and I season it how I want, I think it's really nice. But when I'm buying a frozen imported steak that who knows how old it is, and I mean they put the date on there so I know how old it is, but you know, I'm cooking frozen steaks and it's not really what I want to do, to be perfectly honest, but I'm doing it because the customers want it. I've sold already 10 or 12 steaks in the first 10 days, so that helps my revenue. That's one thing I'm doing to help my revenue. Also, I hope that people who buy steaks would be more likely to buy a bottle of wine or more likely to drink a beer than somebody who's obviously having like a milk tea. So what else am I doing to increase my revenue and make things easier on me? I started buying Bundaberg brand, kind of like juice and soda water. So they have like ginger and all the tropical flavors, passion fruit and pineapple and mango, and they have a cream soda, and they're really cute bottles. Actually, I'll grab one. So those are Australian. Bundaberg is a famous brand in Australia. They make rum and some other stuff. I got a pretty good deal on them, and they're actually selling really well. I'm selling them for $28 per bottle. They sell really well. Actually, I started selling them at the halfway through May, and I sold 31 bottles in those 15 or so days. And even already in June, I'm selling tons. I did a little bit of a promotion on Chinese social media, on my social media accounts. I'm saying I got all these new flavors of juice, and a lot of people have been coming to try it. I sold 7 or 8 bottles just yesterday, so that's actually great for revenue. And it's so much easier than making, juice from fresh fruit juice. So it saves me time, and it saves me from going to the market every day and buying fruit, and it saves my workers from having to cut the fruit up and blend it and all that stuff. And every other place in this town sells fresh fruit juice already. So if I have fresh fruit juice, it doesn't really differentiate me at all. Everybody already does it. The night market does it. Everywhere does it because the fruit here is so good. So if I have something different, like these bottles of juice right here, I'm the only person in town, as far as I know, that has these. And so they're great product to sell, and I can promote them. Okay, and the last thing I've been doing to drive revenue, I've started opening later. I'm open till 12 every night now. When it's hot outside, nobody wants to come outside, so at night people come out in this town. To help get people to come here, I started selling like pitchers of alcohol, Mojito, Long Island, Moscow Mule, etc. And those sell for anywhere from 118 to 138 kwai per bottle. And I haven't sold a ton of those yet. Don't get me wrong, I haven't sold a ton, but I've sold a handful. I'd have to check the numbers. I'd probably sold 10 or so far in the past 2-3 weeks, which is good. Also drives the revenue up. It's much easier to just pour a drink than it is to cook a full meal. Cook a hamburger, cook fries, pour a Coca-Cola. So my profit on like a meal of a hamburger and fries and a Coke is like maybe 30 RMB. Cost of goods, versus what I sell it for. But I sell a pitcher of liquor, of mixed drink cocktail for 118, and my profit is more like 70 RMB. So for the amount of work and the amount of profit, obviously that's why people open bars, right? So I got to keep promoting that kind of stuff. But overall, I'm happy with my results for May. I think things are going to continue to get better and better. So far in June has been really good. I hope it will continue. As long as tourists start coming, I think everything will be fine. Everything on my Dajong Dianping, my Meituan, the reviews online are all really good. If you check my cafe, Boca Cafe in Sichuanbana, all the comments are good. One bad comment, but it was about the delivery. They said the food tasted good, but the delivery made all the food mess up. So I got a bad comment there. But otherwise, everything seems really good. People are happy, and I have a lot of repeat customers, which is good. My biggest thing still is trying to get the word out that I'm here, let people know that we got the best Western food in Sichuanbana, and that where we are and our hours and all that stuff. We just got to get the word out so people know, and so we get the local people to come, and they can come all the time. They can be repeat customers, and then of course I need the tourists to come back so I can have travelers that are here. The hotel above me opened up again. They opened up 2 days ago, so hopefully that means people are coming back. So I have a hotel, if you remember my other videos, directly above me, the top 5 floors of this building, hundreds of rooms, which would be hopefully great for coffee sales. And finally, last but not least, if you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate it. If you have any suggestions for me and my business, please comment. Please tell me what you've done if you're a cafe owner to drive revenue, especially after this pandemic, and especially if you're in China, which would be very useful. And of course, finally, last but definitely not least, please subscribe if you can. I would really appreciate that. And please give me a like, and please, like I said, comment if you've got anything to say. Thank you for watching. This was filmed on the new ZV-1. If you want to check that review, you can. I hope the image quality is nice. I hope the audio is good. I've added the shotgun mic this time. Again, if you check my ZV-1 review, please check that. You'll see the last time I made a video with this camera, As part of that review, I was using the internal microphone on this camera, and now I'm using a shotgun mic, so I hope that the audio quality is noticeably better. If it isn't, I will notice also myself, but please comment and say, no, I like the other mic better, whatever. That's about it. All right, so take care, remember, be safe, and I'll catch you next time.